Hello everyone. Today let's talk about the other end on a fiber optic network. Well, we know that one end connects to our main network, which outputs the data, and on the other end usually we will have more devices receiving the data. And we all know that a fiber optic cable is way more advanced than an Ethernet cable. Well, the fiber optic cable, first, it has higher bandwidth, which can process more data than regular Ethernet. The distance for the transmission is way more longer than Ethernet cables. Ethernet's cable hardly can reach a kilometer, and a kilometer to fiber optic cables are just easy peasy. And also, since it transmits in an optic signal, the material for this cable is mostly plastic. And that is also beneficial because plastic cables, they cannot conduct electric surges, so we don't have to worry about sometimes an accidental electric surge will be conducted and damaging both ends of our devices. Another thing is it is immune to electromagnetic pulses, so it won't be interfered. A lot of Ethernet cables, the data might get interfered during transmission because of electromagnetic pulses. So we can know that a fiber optic cable in some way is more secure when transmitting the data, and also it's much safer. Also, because it's traveling in light speed, the signals are hard to intercept. Even if you can intercept it, it is not like digital signals, which is ones and zeros. It is an optic signal, which is hard to decipher as well. So that is why you will see a lot of buildings, constructions, where they need massive distance and transmission capacity. They will use fiber optic cables because this is really suitable for those occasions. Now we know that our fiber optic cables can transmit a lot of data and also go for a long distance. Well, how can we apply it to one of our PoE systems? Our PoE network systems, they're beneficial as well, but sometimes these two work into different signals, and we want to combine these two. Is that workable? Well, the answer is yes. And now let's see some really special components that will go on the other end of the fiber optic cable. With these devices, we can make sure we can use both our Ethernet and fiber optic cables. So we know that the PoE means there will be power transmitted with the data, and the power transmitted because the Ethernet cable is made of copper, and copper will conduct electricity. So the fiber optic cable is plastic, and everybody knows that that cannot allow the electricity to be passed on. So all we need is to use devices to receive the optic signal on both ends and transmit the signal to digital signals. Then the digital signals can go with those PoE devices, and those PoE devices will pick up electric power on their end, and then they can transmit to their IP devices. It's really simple. Now let's take a look at all these devices. First, we have here our very basic media converters. These are used, most of them are only 1 or 2 Ethernet ports. You can see there is a SFP module, which is the small form factor pluggable. This is a very crucial component in this whole fiber optic signal setup. This will allow to capture the optic signal and then help this media converter convert both the signals from digital to optical or optic to digital. It's really easy to understand. And this one with only one Ethernet outlet right here, it runs on 12 volts power, so it can only put out digital signal. We usually don't use it on the further end, on the edge of a connection, because it does not have PoE features. Oh, this one here is a little bit better. It's almost the same as size, but this one runs on a 48 volt. And this one will have PoE features because this one can have the amount of power that can give out through these Ethernet ports. So these are the converters. Now let's take a look at something else. Now right here is our indoor PoE switch with SFP modules. You can see they look not much different from regular switches. They connect alternating current outlets, they receive power from there, and they can put out power PoE through all of these Ethernet ports. And you can see on this side there are 1 SFP modules or 2 FP module ports. These can help us receive the fiber optic cable's optic signal, and they'll connect to here. And inside here is the media converter integrated, and it will help us convert the signals into digital signals, and then they can output it through the Ethernet ports. It's not that hard to understand. So this is usually used in indoor because you can see there's not a lot of measurements to protect it from a lot of water or dust. So we mostly deploy these are inside. Now let's take a look at the other one. So this one right here, this white metal box, you can hear the material is really like hard metal. And this is same as the indoor PoE switch with SFP ports, but it is built for outdoor occasions. This metal casing can help it resist water and dust. These two things will devastate our device, compromise our components, so we need to make sure that our device, when it's deployed outside, it will prevent these two. And it has also a power outlet right here. We can connect it to a power, and it has 4 ports right here. These 4 ports will output the PoE to IP devices connected to it, and the SFP module goes right here, which will provide the data through the fiber optic cable. So this is not much different from the indoor one, but since it's designed for outdoor occasions, it has better protection than the indoor switch. Now let's take a look at a very massive industrial level device. So now let's take a look at this over here. This is our industrial grade fiber PoE switch. It will mainly act as a part that helps the main network to spread out all its data through multiple fiber optic cables. You can see all the slots here are not traditional Ethernet ports. They are built for inserting SFP modules, which means this can be able to connect to multiple SFP modules. And here, these 4 over here are high-speed 10 gigabyte SFP module ports. They have the bandwidth of 10 gigabytes. So with this device, we don't have to worry about sometimes the data overload will cause massive traffic in our network system. And you can see this is usually built for indoor as well. So that's why it's mainly set up in the main control room. All right, that's pretty much it for all these devices. If you have any questions about any of these, make sure you leave them at the section below. I'll take a look at them, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again. Bye.